silly billies. So the last time Miss S subbed for me, you guys tried to pull a fast one and not do any work. So today we have some work to do. Alright, so you are going to get a packet that's got 1, 2, 3 pages, and bonus quiz at the end. Got it? Got it. Okay. This is going to be due at the end of the day. Everything is going to be a grade when we're done with all the notes and I go through the worksheets and explain to you what I want done. Then I will tell you how many points it's worth because I'm going to add it up as we're doing it. Sound good? Good. Great. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a minute. Miss S, if you could pause this video for us. I want you guys to get your packets out. Get a pencil, not a pen. Cody, you need a pencil, not a pen. And we're going to go through these notes super fast so you guys got time to work. Miss S, please feel free to pause as needed so they get all the information that they need. Alright, you guys ready to go? First off, please put your name at the top of your paper. If you put teacher, guess what? You're going to get a 0. You will get no credits. And you want these credits. It's the end of the year. Let's quit messing around with it, okay? The steps for solving inequalities are the same steps for solving equations. We're going to do the same thing, except for instead of x is equal to 5, we're going to have things that look like x is less than 5. X is greater than or equal to 5. Make sense? We're going to still use the inverse operations. And remember, inverse means what? Hopefully somebody in the room said opposite. And I forgot how to spell opposite because it's late on a Sunday night. We're going to use the inverse operation to eliminate the numbers and get the variable by itself. If the variable is on the right side of the inequality, if the variable is on the right side of the inequality, you can flip the variable and the solution, but you also must flip the direction of the inequality symbol. So you have to flip the direction of the inequality symbol, and that's going to make more sense in just a minute. So go ahead and pause right here. Make sure you have the steps for solving inequalities are the same as the steps for solving equations. Use the inverse or opposite operations to eliminate the numbers and get the variable by itself. If the variable is on the right side of the solved inequality, you can flip the variable and the solution, but you must also flip the direction of the inequality symbol. Oh, it helps if I have that like that. I don't have my little, like, tripod camera phone holder thing like I did during COVID. I don't know where it went. It got lost in the mess of my house. Okay, let's see what this actually means. What the heck are we talking about? So we're going to work on number 1. So the first thing that I see right off the bat, I wish I would have grabbed a highlighter, but I didn't, so my operation is addition. And then instead of drawing the line down my equal sign, I'm going to draw it down my inequality sign. Okay? So it's addition, so I'm going to subtract. Subtract 9, subtract 9. What I do on one side, I have to do on the other side. 12 take away 9 is, hopefully somebody says 3. Because if not, then I'm not doing a very good job here. Remember that 9 cancels out. So now our equation should look like, or our inequality rather, x is less than 3. So how are we going to graph this? First of all, am I opened or closed? Hopefully somebody said open. So I'm going to go to 3. I'm going to draw that circle. It's going to stay open. I'm going to draw an arrow going the same direction as my inequality. Okay? For the one I'm well, never mind. Hold on. Let's go to the next one. First thing I notice, my operation is multiplication. So instead of multiplying, I'm going to divide. We're going to do this on both sides. I like using that fraction bar for division when we're doing equations and inequalities. But we're just going to put divided by 3 because I know that makes a lot of you guys happy. 24 divided by 3 is... do, 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 do. Great. So hopefully somebody said 8. Because we have brain cells in 6th grade. I know we don't always act like it. 8 is less than or equal to, or I'm sorry, x is less than or equal to 8. Now, we're going to find 8 on our number line. Is it going to be open or closed? Hopefully you guys are following along with me and actually answering my questions. Because if not, I just sound like a Looney Tune who's talking to myself. This makes sense? Yeah? Okay. I want to give you guys the opportunity to do most of these on your own because you should be able to. You guys did really well with our review. Let's look at number 4, and then I'll walk you through how to do the worksheets. All right, so number 4, my operation is subtraction. So that means I have to do what? We're going to add on both sides. Oops, forgot my line. Sorry, guys. I'm going out of order because I'm not in there with ya. So my 5s cancel out. And I have 4 plus 5 is 9. Is greater than or equal to x. Now, remember way up here, if the variable is on the right side of the solved inequality, you can flip the variable and the solution, but you must also flip the direction. What does that look like? Woohoo! So my x over here, my variable is on the right side of my equation. And I want it to be nice and neat. So I'm going to rewrite it. X is flipping that inequality sign. X is less than 9. Are both statements true? 9 is greater than x. X is less than 9. Yes, both statements are true. So let's graph that. So on my number line, I'm going to find 9. Maybe. Yep. Open and close symbol. Should be open. And I'm following this inequality sign right here. So we're going to hike this arrow over to the left. I want to run through that again to make everything nice and neat so I'm not getting confused. It's the same thing. We're just making it nice and neat because we like it when our variable comes before our inequality because it makes it nice and easy for us to graph it. So my variable was on the right side of my solved inequality. 9 is greater than x. Okay? To make it nice and neat so I can graph it easier, I'm going to flip everything around. I'm going to flip-flop it like writing it on a mirror, right? So now I have x is less than 9, and it graphs just like that. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to have Miss S pause this for a few minutes. I want you guys to do 3, 5, and 6 on your own. And let's see, how many points should this worksheet be? So for our guided notes today, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's do 4 times 6 is 24, plus 5 is 31. So the guided notes will be out of 35 points. So that gives you guys 4 extra credit points just for participating and trying to do the notes. Let's go to our first worksheet. Oh, I'm glad I put that paper down. I would have ruined my mouse pad. So this one looks a little wonky, okay? It's not. Don't let it intimidate you. Because for whatever reason, when you guys get these boxy ones, they start to confuse you. Put your name at the top. If you put teacher, you will get a 0. Because you guys have brain cells. Let's use them today, please. Yeah? Okay. I'm only going to do the first one with you. You guys will be responsible for doing the rest on your own. And just at a glance, these are looking like they're going to be like 5 points apiece. So we're looking at 50 points for this worksheet. I could be wrong. I'll go through and I'll double check. All right, so all we're doing here, it says circle all of the possible solutions for each inequality. Circle all possible solutions for each inequality. This also means that you have to show me your work for the inequality so I know how you got to your answer. We will mention Malachi's name. Okay. I do the opposite operation. Minus 15, I'm going to add 15 to both sides. 8 plus 15 is 23. So I have x is less than 23. So how many of these answers could be possible solutions for my inequality? Is 23 less than 23? No. Is 30 less than 23? Absolutely not. So we only have 7 and 10. You can shade them, you can circle them. I don't really care. I want those two identified. Let me look at one more that might be a little bit more complex. No, I think we could do... So we'll do 1 point for work, 1 point for each of the answers. And I need to pause this for just a second so I can count how many correct answers there are. So... Well, no, we'll do 2 points for work, so 20. And then, yeah, that'll work. So we'll do 4 points. This will be out of 40. I always try to give you guys a little bit of a bump for extra credit just for making an attempt. So this one will be out of 45 with a total of 4 points for each problem solved, including your work. So the work will be 1 point. The solution in solution form will be 1 point. And then for each individual correct circled box is an additional point per answer. Or possible solution is how I should have worded that. Okay. Beautiful. Let's look at our next worksheet. So we have Inequalities Practice 1. That's worth 45 points. Guided Notes, 35 points. Inequalities Practice 2. So for each one of these, you're going to have to show your work, show your solution in inequality form, and graph the solution. At this point in the game, this should be pretty old practice for you. Okay? You guys should know what you're doing. You're really, really confident and really, really comfortable when you're solving simple equations. So solving simple equalities should be just as comfortable for you guys to do. Don't overthink it. Okay? My opposite my operation is addition. Opposite is going to be subtraction. So I'll subtract from both sides. And I will come up with x is less than 4. I'm going to create my own number line. You know I like having a nice and neat. So I'm going to put my 4 right about here. It's an open circle. Finish up my number line. And I'm going to draw my arrow nice and neat. Now, at this point, if you do want to get a highlighter for your lines, for your arrows, I'm totally fine with that. Just make sure that it's nice and neat. Make sure that your circles are nice and open. Okay, or nice and shaded. I need to be able to tell what I'm looking at when you guys are doing these. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4 points, 5 points each. So 1 point for the work, 1 point for the solution, 1 point for the circle being open or closed, 1 point for the arrow in the correct direction. So I'm just going to put a double-sided arrow. And then an additional point for the number line. $10 on this 10 on this worksheet. And they're all pretty straightforward. So we'll do 55. Give you that extra credit bump of 5 points. Okay. 55 for inequality practice 2. 45 for inequality practice 1. 35 for your solving inequalities notes. Everybody good with all of that so far? Now, before I have Miss S pause this so that you guys can get your work time in, once you have completed both of the independent practice sheets, you're going to get a quiz. I'm not going to tell you how to do the quiz. That's kind of silly. Put your name. If you put teacher, you will get a 0. I'm going to go over each one of these with you guys really, really quickly. If you are somebody who gets test read, please take this with you to the resource room. You will be going at 9 o'clock today. So, number 1 through 8, you're going to write and graph the inequality for each situation. Remember, we want to box and underline our keywords. I will do the keywords for number 1 with you guys, even though I said I wouldn't. So the number of students going on the field trip will be at least 50. So this is where you want to get your notes out, where it has your keywords. That's super, super, super important. You'll do that 1 through 8. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Solve each inequality and graph the solution. So that's, again, we're going to identify our operation, do the opposite, do our inequality or our solve line. We're going to solve it, graph it, draw the number line. Each of these will be 5 points each. And up here, we're going to need you to do the number line, the circle, and make sure your inequality is correct. So 3 points for each of those. So 24 and 20. We'll make this a 30-point quiz. No, we won't. We'll be out of 50 points. Giving you that little extra credit bump. Okay? So again, once you are done with your notes, inequality practice 1, inequality practice 2, you're going to take it up to Miss S. She's going to check to make sure you've done it all. She will have an answer key. And then you are going to do the inequality split quiz silently and independently. When you are complete with the quiz using your notes, and you take that up to Miss S, then and only then may you have your Chromebook, The only thing you should be working on is your summer project. Okay? I'm trusting you guys to follow directions, to be responsible and respectful, and do what you know you need to do. All right? I love you. Don't be jerks. I will see you maybe later today, but more than likely tomorrow. Have a really awesome, super great day, and you'll hear from me again for science.